Okay. Okay. Live? Okay. Hi, my name is Ben Copenhaver. I'm going to be showing you guys how to do some plating for any samples you might have coming out of fermenters at your brewery. Today I'm going to be doing a yeast prop, which is a little different. It's slightly more concentrated than what you guys will be dealing with. But we have a laminar flow hood here. You may not. But basically what you want to do is create an environment where there's no external wind coming in while you're pouring your sample. So if you have like maybe some kind of plastic bin that you can cut out like one wall so you can put your hands in there and have this kind of setup, that would be better than not. So here I have a Bunsen burner. I'm going to start that up. And what this does is it helps kind of pull in the oxygen in the air to the flame. So it's creating this umbrella effect where the airflow is kind of always moving up and out. So while you're plating, any air is moving away from your sample. So today I'm doing our Jasper Yeast 001. Shout out to the #1 yeast, Czech lager yeast. And as you can see here, I have 4 petri dishes that are consist of different colored agars. This one is our LWYM, which basically selects for wild yeast. This is our LCSM plating media, and this selects for copper-resistant yeast or diastatic yeast. This is our LMDA media, and this selects for aerobic bacteria. And then we have, lastly, the UBA plate, which selects for anaerobic bacteria. So we'll put this plate, when we're done, in a separate area that's without oxygen, whereas these will be exposed to oxygen. And the whole plating process, you'll pour your plate, and I'm about to show you that, but it will take a couple days for you to see any results. So I'm gonna get started here, and I have a little beaker to pour, because I'm gonna flood plate these, which is just pouring my sample to completely flood the surface of each of these agar plates. And I'm gonna let them rest for like 30 seconds, and then I'm gonna dump them out. And I have a Clorox wipe in here. That's just like a little tidbit thing I do personally, because it helps prevent splashback, potentially like contaminating the plate, because I'm going to go through all of these with multiple samples, so it just helps reduce that. So I'm going to go ahead and start here. Okay, so those have been flood plated with our 001 yeast. And so I'm going to let these sit for a little bit here while I talk about this. So like I said earlier, these 3 are going to go, well, all of these are going to go into an incubation chamber after I pour out the excess sample here. And these will be exposed to oxygen, and then this one will be in a vacuumed environment where there will be no oxygen, so that any potential anaerobic bacteria that may be present in a sample, ideally you don't want that, but if it is there, that's what would show up on there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pour these out. And you want to make sure you kind of get rid of as much of the liquid as possible, because if there's any excess, that's just a potential place for a microbe in your, wherever you're going to put these in your incubation space, to potentially grow on the liquid, not the media. And finally, I'm going to go ahead and label these to match what my sample was. For kind of what we do, we just put our date and like what tank it came from, and then what, in our case, what yeast strain it was, but for you, maybe what beer it was. So I'm just go ahead and do that. And all right, and that is how we do our flood plating for QC at Yeast.